We're singing and we're coloring. Give me a high five.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, here with my brother from another. Just made a bad decision as far as football goes.
Terrible
Went to
decision
Game
he made.
James. He did. He made a bad decision, but
Yeah, you
this
did.
is the best of enemies, man. We about to have some fun.
Oh,
We're
we're gonna have some
actually
fun tonight.
we'll announce what's gonna happen tomorrow. We'll announce that at the end of the show. But for now, let's just focus on best of enemies in front of us. So the Eagles obviously dominate. The Dallas Cowboys obviously had a great fourth quarter.
How
You
are
guys
you
had a great fourth
dominating us,
quarter.
fam?
We didn't dominate. No. I didn't say we dominated y'all. I said we dominated in our win. You guys
Okay.
dominated in your fourth quarter win.
Right,
So
right. You said
it's
fourth
looking
quarter.
really
I
good.
like that. I like that dig. I like the dig.
It's looking
That's
really
what's
good for
up.
both teams.
Even though
It's
y'all
looking
won in
really
the
good.
last minute against the Colts, we dropped 54 on them. Y'all won in the
last quarter.
minute.
In the last quarter, y'all were up
Last
2
second.
for most of that game. I went to
Right, but
sleep.
we
I'm gonna
dropped
be
33
100%
on them.
honest.
Right. You feel
I
me?
blame myself. I blame
You should
myself, and
blame
I'm gonna say
yourself.
this for
Okay.
Colts because honest,
Mhm.
I'm gonna say this for Colts fans because it's partly my fault. I fell asleep in the fourth quarter because I was like, all right, it's a close game, whatever. I get to take a shot. It'll probably be a close game to end, and you guys went crazy. So I did go to sleep. Walk me through what happened. How did it? Because I heard there was like 4 fourth quarter turnovers. Like what realistically happened? Like how did you guys? Because that was a franchise record, if I'm not mistaken. 33 points you guys scored in the fourth quarter. What happened? How did what sparked that? Talk to me about that game.
Well, I definitely talked about. First of all, let me give a shout out to Miss Nina. She's a very good supporter of you, Philadelphia. I
Facts. That's
like
my
her.
girl right there.
She's big time. So shout out to you, Nina, out there. I appreciate you giving me some love right now. Even though you're an Eagles fan, I got a lot of love for you and respect. So I appreciate
Me
you
and my
out there in
girl
them
made her
streets.
some.
Yeah,
Me and my girl made her some
she's a
like
beast.
personalized merch. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
cool. She's good people.
she's
She's
super
definitely
cool.
good people.
So going back to the question that you're talking about, how that happened. How it happened was this: like number one, hey, I'm gonna give the Colts just like they played y'all tough. They beat the Chiefs
Yeah,
this year, so let's not act
yeah.
like the Colts just straight
But
trash
now we
garbage.
remember that. Now we remember
Right?
that.
You feel what I'm saying? So we can't act like they straight hot trash garbage. So what really happened was, here's the thing, Joe. You know what it is, like I know. When you're a bad team, those bad things happen, right? Like when
Yeah,
you're a good team, those things don't really happen to you. But when you're a bad team, when you make one mistake, it kind of snowballs. And I think this is what happened with the Colts. They had one turnover, and then it just kind of snowballed because Matt Ryan's not the guy. He's past his prime. It's over for him. It's done. They need a new quarterback in the fold. So once you get a bad mistake, you saw it was a fumble. Uh, Malik Hooker picked it up, ran it back for a touchdown. Now Matt Ryan's he's got to press, right? Now you can't run no more. You have to this fourth quarter is 28-19. You got to throw the ball. We're pinning our ears back now, right? Any smart defensive coordinator says we're coming after you now. And that's what happened. We came after him. We put a lot of pressure on him. Turnovers start coming in galores. They had 5 turnovers as a whole. I think 4 in that fourth quarter, back to back to back to back. And then, hey, and then my homeboy is a Colts fan. He's like, oh, y'all ain't have to run up the score. We didn't. We ran the ball. Ezekiel Elliott, we gave the ball to Tony Pollard, 30-yard touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott runs it down your throat, touchdown. And then we got a third guy named Malik Davis, who's slippy from Florida, undrafted. He got a 22-yard run touchdown. So it was really just a snowball effect of when you're not a good team, when it rains, it pours. And I think that's just what
yeah.
happened, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Eagles, and I'll give you guys your fly. Like I said, I said it on Twitter, and I'll always be a hater on Twitter. It's fun. It's more fun that way. But I said if you
You
guys
are
wanted
you a
me to
big
give you
time hater on
flowers,
Twitter, big dog.
I am. I like it. It's a lot of fun. It gets people mad. Oh, my phone just went off for some reason. But either way, yeah, I am a big time hater on Twitter. But I did say on Twitter, I was like, if you want your flowers, Cowboys fans, wait till Tuesday, wait till best enemies. I will say that was impressive. Watching it back, being able to kind of see that you guys broke that record and seeing your defense just pummel a bad team. That's what you want to see. That's what's supposed to happen, right? That's realistically my opinion. And we talked about this earlier with you guys, which we'll get to that later. I want to talk about the Eagles game real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the Philadelphia Eagles team and you said something that kind of stuck out to me. You said, bad things happen to bad teams. Like when
Mm-hmm.
stuff starts piling on it. I even want to go deeper with that, and say that the Eagles had some bad things happen that were self-inflicted. Like, a lot of penalties. There was like 10 penalties there or something like that on the offensive line throughout that game, which is not uncharacteristic. But good teams, to your point, are able to overcome those things. So sometimes you don't even really realize that. But beyond that, that was probably the first time that I've seen the Philadelphia Eagles put their full team out on the field. We saw the offense go out there and make big plays. Like I said, there was a lot of, penalties, a lot of self-inflicted wounds that obviously you want to get by. But the offense went out there and continuously made plays. The defense went out there and continuously made plays against a very, very good running back. I think that a lot of people are going to try and forget that Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. The last couple of weeks, he has been stopped. But you got to give kudos to the Eagles, who were down.
Definitely, definitely giving kudos. Definitely giving kudos. I'm a jump in here because I see some Eagles fans already running their mouths, talking trash. That's cool. But guess what? But guess what? I'm gonna give y'all flowers because everybody from the NFC was probably watching that matchup between the Eagles and Titans because the Titans got a stingy D. They got that run game, and that looked like that was going to be a competitive game, and y'all blew them out the waters. You get what I'm saying? Y'all shut down the run game. Y'all blew them out the waters, and y'all did the right thing. Y'all featured A.J. Brown. That's his former team. Y'all did the right thing and let him get his flowers and turn up against them. Like, y'all did the right thing. So, like I said, man, I ain't hating on that. Y'all destroyed them. That was an impressive victory against the Titans because a lot of people were looking at that to see where the gauge was. And once again, y'all showed that y'all are one of the top teams in the NFL. So I don't hate on that. But at the same time, Cowboys are pretty good too. I'm excited. No, we're pretty good.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be because you guys
be great in that 2 weeks. It's going to be great Christmas Eve.
You guys have to win. You guys have to win out. I mean, that's real.
I don't care about winning the division, Joe.
So you're okay if you guys lose that game in December. In December, we're already in December.
No,
if you lose that game Christmas Eve, you think that the Cowboys are still? I'm just asking. If was a fifth, let's get drunk real quick.
Okay, let's get drunk.
If the Cowboys are to lose that game against the Eagles, if it's everything fair on both sides, however you want to shape it, are you still looking at this team saying that they're a contender for the Super Bowl or beyond? Like, do you think that this is the year that you guys can? I don't want to say this is our year. I'm not trying to be jestful. I'm trying to be serious.
Right.
Do you think this is a year that you guys can realistically make a run? Is the Eagles game kind of the barometer right now? Is that what's going to kind of give you the clarity of like, yes, this is a Super Bowl team?
No, I'm not going to say that because we know, like Joe, this might be you said it to yourself when me and you were tweeting back and forth that we're probably going to see each other 3 times this year. It's probably not going to be a 2-game season. We're probably going to see each other in the playoffs as well. So if y'all beat us, let's say if y'all beat us on Christmas Eve, I don't feel like that's an indicative thing toward the playoffs because we all know, Joe, that playing a team 3 times is always harder. Yes. You get what I'm saying? Okay. It's always harder playing a team 3 times. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen it. You can win 2 times in the playoffs and 2 times in the regular season and get smacked in the playoffs. That's because it happens like that. So from my point of view, if y'all win that game, I think Dallas is still okay. Will I sit there and say Super Bowl bound? I'm not jumping on that, Joe. I ain't drinking the Kool-Aid with these Cowboys. So, I ain't jumping on that. Cowboys still got to prove something to myself, right? But I'm not going to say if y'all beat us, that's indicative of what's going to happen in the playoffs because anything can happen in the playoffs. But that is going to be a huge game. Like I said on my Twitter, I want us both being at full strength. I want y'all beat y'all next 2 opponents. I want us to beat our next 2 opponents. And I want that to be a big-time game so we can both see where we bang. We'll have a Dak Prescott. Y'all going to have a Jalen Hurts. Like I said, Jalen Hurts has not beat Dak Prescott. So, if anything, I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles have more to prove, in my opinion. This is where I'm coming from, Joe. Understand what I'm saying? Not saying y'all not a great team. Y'all really good. But what I'm saying is Jalen Hurts hasn't beat Dak Prescott or the Cowboys. So I feel like he's going to take it more maybe personal with him that I got to show we're 11-1, 12-1, whatever. But I got to show I can beat these Cowboys with Dak Prescott. So I think that's going to be heavily weighing on his mind, and that's going to be big on his end too.
honestly don't think that they're gonna. I don't think he cares. I think
I don't believe that. I don't believe
if
that.
all the cards are
believe that.
stacked up, if all the cards are stacked up for the Philadelphia Eagles to be the number 1 seed and to walk into the
Joe, you
playoffs,
really believe that?
regardless.
If
Yeah,
you're
let me
Joe,
finish. Regardless of that outcome of that Cowboys game, if everything lines up and we can go into that game and say we can win or lose this game, it really doesn't matter. I don't think he's sitting there saying I have to prove I can beat Dak Prescott. That's not. Dak Prescott has to prove things on his own. Jalen Hurts has to prove
Eagles?
things on his own. No, not to the Eagles. I said on his own. He has to prove things on his own. He has to prove things to his team. He ain't got nothing to prove to us. He's won in the past. He hasn't played this team. So the same way you can say that Jalen Hurts hasn't beaten that team, you can say that the Eagles have not. I mean, Dak Prescott has never beaten this team. This is a totally different Eagles defense, especially. So at the end of the day, I don't look at the quarterbacks and say, say that again.
Dak Prescott is 7-3 against y'all, big dog.
Not against this defense. Did we have James Bradbury when he was 7-3 against Kaiser White, Jordan Davis? Did we have any of those guys? No. I mean, this is a totally
different team too. This is a totally different team too that you're playing against with Dallas.
We got to treat it like that. You can't.
I can't treat it like that.
You can't say that to a totally different team and then say, but he's 7-3. That's not the same team, right? We're treating it like a new team. These are two new teams.
Okay. I still feel like Dak can do his thing against y'all.
He can. I'm sure he can. I'm sure that he's going to go out there and put up some numbers. The main question is who. It might come to a point that we do not care, because at the end of the day, all we need to worry about is getting into the playoffs. We need to get into the playoffs with that number 1 seed. That's our number 1 focus. You guys might not worry
about
that.
That number 1 seed.
We want that number 1 seed. And that's all we're worried about. So
you can have
what I'm saying is, if we get to a point that we come to that week and that regardless of what the outcome of that game is, I would not be surprised to see them not play a full game. I really would not be surprised if we're at a point that you guys lose another game, the Vikings lose another game, and we hit 13 wins. It might be a point that we're just like,
you ain't resting your guys.
We're already there.
That's not gonna happen, Joe.
Why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we do that? Because you guys want to play us like.
No,
we did it last year. We did it last year.
Hyping yourself up, Joe.
But we did it last year, James. That's what I'm saying. We did it last year.
Last year, it was the last game of the year, Joe.
But I'm talking about the last
game where nobody mattered. Who won the NFC?
That wouldn't matter if we hit 13 games. If you guys lose one more game and we hit 13 games,
we're not losing
I'm
one
just
more
saying.
game.
I'm saying, but just listen.
We're not losing to the
you're
Texans,
going off of what you're hoping. I'm trying to
the
ask
Jaguars.
You never know. You said that you're worried about the Jaguars. You said they were pesky.
No,
you said that they were. You never know what's going to happen with Doug Peterson.
I didn't say I was worried about them.
So it could happen. So I don't understand why you're sitting here acting like it.
But I don't believe it. It will. I feel like we will.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine that you don't believe that. You shouldn't believe that, right?
We're not going to lose.
I'm saying statistically, number wise, right, math wise, quick maths. If the Eagles are to get to 13 wins, which we have to win the next 2 games before we play you guys, right? If we win the next 2 games before we play you guys lose another game, right? If you guys lose another game, and let me just finish, and the Minnesota Vikings lose another game, right? That would make it mathematically impossible for you guys to win the division or anybody else to take the number 1 seed. So in my opinion, I don't think our players would play a full game. I don't. I think that they might play a half. They might play 3 quarters. They might play 2 or 1 quarter. I don't think that they would keep our starters out there because we've shown that. The last 2, if the last 2 or 3 games do not matter, why would we be scared? How is that scared? We talked about delusional. We talked about delusional, man. We talked about delusional. You know what they're
going to say? Yeah, I'm going to say you scared because if y'all doing that, y'all going to sit there and say, we just like y'all did last year, we didn't even play our starters. You played against
because it doesn't matter. If the game doesn't matter, who are we trying to see? You want us to impress you guys. What did we do last year? The same exact thing that we did that you guys did. We're not worried about you guys.
First of all, we ain't worried about you.
But then why would we play you and run
the
risk of getting someone
injured? We're not worried about y'all. We're not worried about y'all. But then answer me that.
What's the point? Answer me this. What's the point of us playing our players and risking the injuries? What's the point of it? If not only to appease you guys. Like that's really what it sounds like. It sounds like you guys want us to just play you so you can win a game.
Are you gonna tell me? So you're gonna tell me, Joe, that we've seen time and time again in sports when you don't have momentum going into the playoffs, you get your ass kicked. So you want to go into the playoffs. If we beat the hell out of y'all because y'all got backups, you want to go into the playoffs with that? You really want to go into the playoffs? You don't like that
that's
going
not going into the playoffs with that. That's what I'm
Yeah, it
saying. I'm
is.
saying if we play,
It's the second-
if we I personally don't agree with that. If we're already sitting there saying, all right, we got 2 or 3 games left and none of these games matter, I don't see the point in starting your starters all those games. I just don't.
Okay, well, you know what, Joe?
We've seen teams getting injured time and time again.
And we've seen teams at the end of the year who were top seeds play bad at the end of the year, get their ass kicked in the first round.
Like the
Don't say
Cowboys.
you ain't seen it.
Like the Cowboys did last year. Like the Cowboys did last year. That sounds awfully.
Like the Packers.
That sounds
How many times have we
reminiscent.
seen that with?
That sounds
Y'all ain't
awfully
get it
reminiscent.
too?
We were a top team last year. We made it in as a wild
I
card,
ain't
didn't
talking
we?
about last year. Y'all ain't been a top team and got your ass kicked early because you want to rest your team. Man, come on, bro. First of all,
when did we get our butt kicked because we wanted to rest our team? When did that happen? That never happened. That literally is the opposite of what happened. Like when Andy Reid used to go on all those playoff runs, if the season was over, he would just rest his guys.
And what did Andy Reid win?
I mean, he's won a championship.
He ain't win shit in Philly. That's why
he won a
championship.
He won a championship. He does the same thing in Kansas City. You talking out of emotion, bro. You talking about emotion. You got to. We talking a logical football. You talking out of emotion.
He didn't win a Super Bowl in Philly. How am I getting?
What does that have to do with it? You asked the question, I answered it. You asked the question, I answered it, and now you're asking a different question.
No, I'm saying you said Andy Reid was your coach. And he rested his players. And what was the outcome?
He did. He won championship in Kansas City. He does the same thing there. I don't understand what So what? Let's talk about guys that have went the Patriots. The Patriots went 18-0. What did that do for them? They didn't rest any of their players. What did that do for them?
I mean, they came across the Giants.
We can find situations on both sides.
That was lucky about them Giants, though.
Come on, now we're gonna say lucky. Now we're gonna say lucky.
So you're going to say that catch by David, whatever his name was not luck?
No, that's football. That's what happens. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes luck to me is opportunity. Luck is opportunity. See, that's what it is.
We're going to beat the brakes off of y'all. I'm telling you right now.
We're
going to beat the brakes off of y'all.
That's what it is, though. That's exactly what it is. You want to beat us. That's what it is, James. That's what it is. You want to beat us because you're upset with us. I get it.
Why am I upset with the Philadelphia Eagles? Y'all ain't
because we broke our spirit. We out here. We're number one in the NFL, and you guys don't want to see it. You guys are upset about that. I get it. It's cool.
How did you break our spirit? Tell me where you break our spirit. Y'all beat us 26-17 with a backup quarterback that threw 3 picks.
Because we are the number 1 team, and it might come down to you guys not being able to get your revenge. That's as soon as I brought that up.
We will.
You started getting very offended. Like we need.
I didn't get
to play
offended.
You guys.
No, I'm just telling you.
Then answer that
you're
question.
Talking about we're going to lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Y'all got.
I never said that. I literally never said that.
You said if we lose. You said if we lose any games, right? This is what you said.
I did say
if
that.
We
I
lose
said
any games. You said if we lose any games and y'all win your games, then you're going to rest your starters, right? So
I said I would. I said I would. Right. I think that they should.
You said you would. But in my opinion, we're playing the Texans, we're playing the Jaguars, who are sneaky, but they've been getting their ass kicked, so I'm not scared of them. So I don't understand where you're thinking that you're going to rest your starters in 2 weeks.
I said if.
That's not going to happen, bruh.
I literally said if we can do the same thing with the Vikings. Look at the Vikings. The Vikings have the easiest schedule. The Vikings have the easiest schedule moving forward.
So you're going to tell me momentum doesn't mean anything, Joe?
To me, I think that as long as your guys are healthy, I have faith in my coach. I have faith in my staff to be able to go out there and get them ready. We're going to have a bye either way, if we get that number 1 seed. I don't see, and like I said, I'm not saying that we won't play you at all. I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't play a full game because it doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter. So what's the risk?
We're not going to lose no games. We're not going to lose no
but
more
I'm just
games.
saying if, and it got you really, really upset.
I'm
All I
not
said was
upset.
if.
I'm
You
not
see what's up,
upset,
bro?
man. First
You
of
see
all, I'm
what's
not
up,
even
bro?
upset
You
about
see
your
what's up?
squad because I'm not worried about the Eagles. I'm not even worried about y'all. Hey, I like what
I got
y'all
people
doing.
mad
Let
when
me
I
just
said I
sit there
wasn't
and
worried
tell-
about the Cowboys. So
And I'm not worried about the Eagles. Nobody's
hey,
scared of
see?
y'all.
See, that's how you supposed to. That's how
Nobody's
you
scared
supposed
of
to.
y'all
Exactly.
or
That's
your
how you're
team.
supposed to feel.
Nobody's scared of y'all
That's
or
how
your
you're
team.
supposed to feel.
And I can't wait till we
Exactly.
play y'all and beat y'all and we do the Best of Enemies podcast and hear all your lame ass excuses.
I can't wait. We're gonna go
I
live
can't
for the
wait to
next
hear
one.
your
We're gonna
lame
go
ass
live for the
excuses
next
because you're
game.
gonna cut.
I
Yeah, we're gonna be live
I
during
don't
the game,
believe.
and I want to hear all your lame ass excuses of why y'all lost. Because you're gonna have nothing but excuses. Because you're gonna have
I'll be
nothing but
real.
excuses.
I'll be real.
Yeah,
No,
you
at
are.
the end of the
No,
day,
you ain't.
like
No,
I
you
said,
ain't.
if
You ain't.
I said if those
You
that was
scared.
all
You worried.
hypothetical,
You
and I
worried
was
about
just
us.
saying. But I don't believe you guys will. I don't think you guys will
We gonna
lose.
beat
It will be
y'all.
very interesting to see what happens over the next couple weeks. Shoot, we could lose and none of this could matter. So there's a lot
So
of
who y'all
different
got the
things
next
that can
2 weeks,
happen.
Joe? Y'all got the Giants and who else?
We got the Giants, who we should whoop the if we lose to the
Should.
Giants, I'm gonna feel some type of way. We should whoop they butt. And then you look at the Bears. The Bears will be an interesting one. That'll be an
Yeah,
interesting
that
one.
might be interesting, but I
Just
ain't worried
because
about
of Justin Fields. If he's at 100%, it'll be interesting to see how we kind of handle that. You know, we haven't had to really deal with that.
But you know what? You're coming to Dallas Christmas Eve with Dak Prescott. So let's see. You feel me? Like, let's see.
care.
You know, hey, like I said, you're talking yourself up. But like I said, in the history books, it shows that Dak be stomping y'all. So I'm going in there with confidence.
We
I'm
talking
sorry.
about the future.
Yeah.
You
act
can't
like
merge
your
the future with
you
the
act
history.
like Bradbury done made your defense so much better.
Bradbury made our
ain't,
we're like the
you ain't even had Jordan Davis half the year.
how does that how are you going to talk about Bradbury? Let me answer the Bradbury first. Okay, let me answer because I'm going to answer both of those for you. I'm going to answer both of those.
Bring it up.
First of all,
Okay.
Bradbury and Darius Slay are top 5 when it comes to most statistical categories for cornerback. So James Bradbury is having one of the best, if not his best year of his career. So we can start there. Secondly,
So we scared of James Bradbury.
us
CeeDee Lamb
losing,
cooked
but
his
you
ass
can't
with the
say
Giants.
he hasn't done nothing. You
He
can't say
got
he
his
hasn't
ass
done nothing.
cooked with CeeDee Lamb though last year.
Did you win last year?
Yeah,
That's
we won.
last year when he
Yeah,
was
we
with
won.
the Giants. That was
CeeDee
last
Lamb
year with
cooked
the
him.
Giants. Why do you keep bringing up
I
the
guess
past?
because he's with
Why do you keep
he's
bringing
gonna
up the
be great.
past?
Man, whatever.
Why you keep bringing? He has been great.
Because CeeDee Lamb cooked
So
his ass
everything
last
that
time
has
he played
happened
him.
all year. What did he do? What did CeeDee Lamb play us when we played week 3? Was it week 3 or week 4? Did he play us?
Who?
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, he played it.
What was
Let
his
me
numbers?
pull up the game. I'm gonna pull up
What
the
was
game.
his numbers? Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up his numbers because he
I
has
mean,
pretty
we
good
obviously
numbers.
got to.
Let me pull him up.
I don't know if James Bradbury
Yeah,
was, the
let
number
me
one
pull
guy
it up.
on him. But
Why
we'll see what
you
happens.
keep talking while I pull that up. But nobody's scared of James
Shout out to
Bradbury.
Rebel.
CeeDee Lamb cooked him up.
$2. He said 49ers versus Eagles first round. I wouldn't be afraid of that. They ain't got a quarterback right now. They ain't got a quarterback.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
look at you hear what he just said?
Them.
Did you hear what Joe just
It's
said?
the truth.
He said I ain't scared of them. They ain't got a quarterback. Even if they had a quarterback, I still wouldn't be scared of them.
Yeah, y'all would be scared. Y'all would be shaking y'all
right.
boots. They keep taking y'all out the playoffs.
Actually, I want the Niners. I want the Niners. Nobody's scared of them.
Yeah,
Just like nobody's
I'm
scared
sure
of no damn Eagles.
That's what I just said, but I'm talking junk. Come on.
What? Nobody's scared of no Eagles, bro. You feel me?
I'm trying to see any good comments in here. Everybody just talking that talk.
Everybody's being nice. Everybody's being nice.
Everybody's being cool. I love it.
We ain't fighting Nick Sirianni and Mike McCarthy. We ain't talking about fights. So everybody being nice.
Not yet. Exactly. Not yet. But we might get there. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 140 people in the chat.
Be
sure to hit that subscribe.
Hit that like on both sides.
Yes, sir. Wherever you guys are.
What am I supposed to be looking up, Joe? What am I supposed to be looking up?
I want to say what CeeDee Lamb's numbers were, but at the same time, I kind of want to see what James Bradbury was accounted for. I don't know how.
Yeah.
You can tell me James Bradbury's. Excuse me. You can tell me CeeDee Lamb's numbers real quick, and I'll find James Bradbury for that game. What he was.
Oh, that's right. That's right. CeeDee Lamb in that Philly game. That's right. That's when we'll pull it up. Here we go. CeeDee Lamb.
I might look stupid here.
You might look stupid.
I might look stupid here, but I'm willing to.
You might look stupid. We're gonna pull that damn game up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pull that game. Here we go. There it is. 20 player stats, team stats, player stats. CeeDee Lamb, 5 catches, 68 yards, 13.6.
That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. So, all right. So let's talk real quick. So in that Dallas game, okay, in that Dallas
Cooper
game,
Rush,
he was
18 to 38, 181 yards and 3 interceptions.
It was
Ooh-wee.
ugly. So
Ezekiel Elliott
let's talk
had
about
80.
James Bradbury.
Ezekiel Elliott
So
had
let's talk about
13.
James Bradbury.
Hold on. I just want to say this. Ezekiel
Okay,
Elliott,
go ahead. Get him off.
we had 26 carries for 134 yards, and we averaged 5 yards a carry against y'all. Ezekiel Elliott had 81 yards. He averaged 6 yards a carry against y'all. And that's with Cooper Rush.
Yeah. Hey, Cooper Rush isn't your running back. Like I said, that's a formula of success for winning. We just made your quarterback.
Let's talk about James Bradbury,
fumble.
though.
Yeah, but let's talk about James Bradbury, right? We wanted to.
Mhm.
I wanted to know how many times he was targeted. Yeah, I wanted to know all that because that was more important to me. So at the end of the day, he was targeted 10 times in that game. There was 3 completions accredited to him, 30%, obviously, 31 yards. So yeah, 31 yards. I mean, that's pretty damn lockdown. That's pretty damn lockdown.
Who was
So
it?
James Bradbury looking good. James Bradbury, like I said, has been having a great year.
Did Michael Gallup play in that game?
I don't believe so. No.
He did.
But I mean, he did it the next week. He did it. James Bradbury has been doing
Hold
this
up,
week
though.
in,
Michael
week out.
Gallup didn't play. We didn't have our starting
James
quarterback,
Bradbury
so
has not given up more than 42 yards all season in one game. Like, come on.
You have okay, but you have our full starting complement of players, and you beat us by how many points?
You just told me no excuses.
Hold
you
up.
just told me not to make excuses.
Okay. How many points? You scored 20 points in the first half, right? Right, Joe?
Yeah, we did.
Right. How many points you score in that second half?
Enough to win.
Say how
enough
many
to
you
win.
scored.
I think it was
Say
6,
how
right?
many you
Because we
scored in
won
the second
26.
No, it wasn't no fake. You know what the hell
whatever.
it was. It was 26 to 17. You scored 6 points in the second half.
Yeah, 6
You
points.
did,
I mean,
right?
It was enough to
so
win.
You
It was
got
enough to
20
win.
points off them turnovers, right? Off a backup who we never thought Cooper Rush was going to do nothing, right? And then you act like you dominate us. You had 2 good drives. That's it. Ain't nobody scared of y'all, bruh.
So we can't say the same thing about that. We can't say the same thing about Dallas versus the Colts this week. We can't say the same thing until your defense took over. You guys didn't dominate.
The Eagles, bruh.
Oh my God! You can't keep going back to the past. You can't keep going back to the past,
bro. What?
Jalen Hurts hasn't played y'all 10 times.
We gotta go.
Jalen Hurts hasn't played you 10 times. How are we going to continuously put it on the past?
Okay.
Come on, man.
So what are we supposed to go on? See, you don't want to go to the past because you got your ass kicked. That's why you.
Because we're not in the past anymore. We're not in the past anymore.
You don't want to talk about.
We talking about now. We talking about now. We are talking about now. When you went 7-3 against us, there was a lot of different players. There was a lot of different players when you guys went 7-3 against us.
You got nothing but excuses,
you just told me. You just told me
7-3
didn't matter because you didn't have your quarterback.
Okay,
but that's an excuse. That's not an excuse.
Let me ask you.
We gotta make a list of what's an accepted excuse and what's
Joe,
not.
See, you lying because Joe, if Jalen Hurts was in, okay, hold up. Can I explain? If Jalen Hurts was in the league as long as Dak Prescott and he had a 7-3 record against the Dallas Cowboys, you wouldn't be talking about that every time.
Maybe I would, but I mean, we're not there.
Maybe.
We're not there. We're talking about the game right now. None of that would matter.
I know you.
And if all right, so to your point, if you want to switch sides, if we switch sides, you'd be saying the same thing I said, that it doesn't matter for the next game. Because it doesn't. It doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't.
At the end
of the day, it does not matter.
He's owning the. So what's Jalen Hurts' record against Dak Prescott? Tell me.
Why does that matter, though? Why is Dak Prescott going against Jalen Hurts? Is Dak Prescott going against Jalen Hurts? That's what's baffling me. What position does Dak Prescott play on the defense?
Jalen Hurts against Dallas right now.
What position does Dak Prescott? He won this last game, right? He won this last game against you guys.
Answer the question. What is Jalen Hurts' record against the Dallas Cowboys?
What are we, 1-2?
Jalen Hurts ain't beat
that's
Dallas.
A big enough.
No,
we just beat you. What are you talking about? We just beat y'all.
All right. My bad. I apologize.
Oh, because that's not a real team because that
wasn't
not
with
there.
No, I said what was his record against that?
You can't nitpick. You nitpick it, bro. Come on, man. So all right. So let's go back to all those games since you can do that.
You hear him, Rome? My dog Rome in there.
Let's go back to all those games. Let's go back to
Jay
all
said,
those
you
games.
soft your own answer.
What does it matter? See, you're just talking over me. You're not letting me talk. Let me talk, bro. Let me talk. All you're doing is screaming and not making any points. All that stuff does not matter. The whole Dak went 7-3. Let's go through those teams. When we talk about how at the end of the year last year we sat everybody, oh, that's an excuse. But when you're talking about that, you don't have your quarterback, but everybody else, and we're on a 4-1. Let me talk. On a 4-1 streak. We weren't good. We just, somehow that happened. You guys didn't play a team. Come on, man. Dallas Cowboys have so many excuses. Why do you guys every single time deflect and have an excuse for every single team? The Philadelphia Eagles are a way better team than the Dallas Cowboys right now, and it's by record.
They're not.
It's by application.
You're just saying that because
it's by everything.
Bruh,
You guys love to nitpick little scenarios and say, "See, this is why we're better." Come on, man. We've been the number one team in the NFL the whole year. Year. And so how are you better? How are you better, bro? Like, come on. You guys make up little excuses, little weird ass excuses that we can't use. We can't say that our quarterback's hurt. We can't say that.
Yep. My guy, Joe, I love him, but he's emotional right now. Joe's being
I'm not emotional.
Right
you have been emotional this whole time. Upset about the whole, because I asked you to calm down and let me talk. You've been yelling over the whole time, yelling, but we're 7-3. We're 7-3. That doesn't matter. Let's talk about this.
How
game
doesn't
coming
it matter,
up.
Joe?
You guys ain't the same team you were last year, and we beat you this year. So our exactly. See, we're not the same team. You're not the same team. You're the one. So let's go 7-3.
But I'm talking calm now, and I can't talk. I'm talking super calm.
I'm saying, James, you've just been yelling over me. You've just been yelling over me, James. Come on, I mean, like, let's be serious. You've been yelling over me 7-3, but you can't beat us. You can't beat that. Come on, bro. Like, you can't keep on saying 7-3 and then say, but we're both different teams. Those are contradicting statements.
If you let me talk, I'm just saying Dak Prescott is 7-3 against the Eagles, right? He is undefeated against Jalen Hurts, head-to-head matchups, right? He's averaged 40 points a game against Jalen Hurts and your Philadelphia Eagles team. You keep on telling me our team is different. So is ours. You're acting like, oh, our team is so different.
I never said
our team is so
say
different.
Your team was different.
You did. You said our team is different.
We were different. That's why we can't keep going back to 3 years ago and saying that matters.
We're not going 3 years ago, bro. We're not going 3 years ago. It was just last year.
Even if you go to our defense is totally
different. I'm not going 2 years ago, Joe. I'm going last year.
Last year. If you go last year, our defense is totally different from last year. Our team is totally different.
Did Dak play last year? Did Jalen Hurts play last year? And who won?
Did we start any of our starters in that last game? So if we're going by
your
theory,
about game, Joe. I'm not talking about.
So what are we talking? We're talking about one game. We're talking about one game.
Joe, Dak has played Jalen Hurts twice, and he has beat them handily. We've averaged 40 points a game against your team. Don't get mad about that. I'm not yelling. I'm telling you factual things.
That's not the same team, though. But you're not, though. You're literally talking. You're looking for a fact that makes your team look good when the whole base of what we're talking about is that your team is not the same, which you agreed with. And everybody in the comments that's a Cowboys fan is saying we're not the same. We're different. Eagles are saying we're not the same. We are different. So your whole 2-0, we put 40 points up against Nate Gary doesn't matter. That doesn't mean anything. You're not playing the same team.
So who did you really add to your defense? You said it's not the same team. Who did you add? So you're counting Bradbury and Jordan Davis as your difference makers from 1 year? Is that what you're telling me?
Bradbury, Jordan Davis. We have what's his name? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. We have. You want me to keep going? I can keep going. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Keep going, please.
We have linebackers now. We finally actually have linebackers and Kaiser White. TJ Edwards is a second year. Who's like, come on, bro. Like, so you're telling me name them, and then you're saying, oh, that doesn't matter. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You wish your team had a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You wish your team had
Malik Hooker, who just
of a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
We had Malik Hooker.
So he had one good game, so you CGJ. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on,
you
bro.
reaching, bro. You talking like you swinging on
Hassan Reddick. Who else do we have to name?
Okay, I can name Michael Parsons better than all your linebackers.
I didn't ask you that. But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You see how when I prove you wrong, you switch to a totally different topic.
Quiet. No, you switch to a topic.
You switch to a totally different topic.
Kaiser White. Bro, you talking about Kaiser White all these that you added. You talked about last year
You
to
asked
this year.
me.
Okay. Kaiser White ain't doing no different. Kaiser White's been a difference maker. What the hell is Kaiser
Yes.
White doing that Dallas
Yes,
game?
has been
He
for the
did.
Philadelphia Eagles. He has been a.
Tell me what
he's
he did in
been-
the Dallas
have
game,
you
though.
seen our linebacking core last
Shit.
year?
Bruh,
James, how are you
reaching.
gonna ask me? You literally asked me who we added and then told me, but they are Micah Parsons is better. That's not what you asked me. You asked
He's
me who
better
we
than every
added. I gave you a
linebacker
laundry
you
list.
got. He's better than every linebacker.
See, you
you got,
sounding
period.
emotional, bro. You
Is that
sounding
not
emotional.
true?
You talking out of
See, you trying
emotion.
to
What
use
does that
that
have to do with
emotional
what
thing,
you're asking,
bro.
though?
I ain't talking
how-
on no damn emotion.
You
Answer the
literally asked
question.
me
Is
who did we
he
ask?
better than
I can't
linebacker
answer
you
questions
got?
because you switch the question every 5 seconds. You asked me who we added. I told you, and then you switched the question. Like, come on, James. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Give us some respect, bro. Like, we have a whole different team.
Respect, dog. See,
No, you're not,
claiming
because you're
for
sitting here
respect.
telling me we didn't
Y'all
add
begging
nobody.
for
That we're the
respect.
same
You
team.
begging for respect. Y'all begging for respect.
No, because you're
Y'all
sitting here
begging
saying
for
things
it.
that
Yeah,
aren't
you are.
true.
What am I
So,
saying?
okay, all
You
right,
saying
all
you
right, all right,
added
so-
players from last year. You saying this is a
We did.
different team from last year, right? I said
We
you
are.
added Jordan Davis and you added Bradbury. So those are the two players that y'all over the hump, and you played us with
And
a backup
Hassan Reddick.
quarterback,
Hassan
bro.
Reddick isn't real. Hassan Reddick isn't
Hassan
there.
Reddick is
Chauncey
nasty.
Gardner-Johnson isn't there. I mean,
Chauncey
come on, bro.
Gardner
These
good.
are all things that we added this. We
But
can
look
even
at the
talk about
players
guys
that we added.
this year.
Look
But
at the
that
players
wasn't
we
the
added.
question. I'm not taking anything away from your team. That's
And I'm
what.
not
That's
taking
what I don't
anything
think
away
you're gonna
from y'all. You sitting there telling
Bro,
me
but you're,
the first
you're
time we met.
screaming and saying that Dak Prescott. This is the overarching
I'm not
point that I'm trying to
screaming.
make.
I'm not screaming.
This
Stop
is
telling me I'm screaming. I'm not screaming.
This is the overarching point I'm trying to make. The Philadelphia Eagles are not the same team that you guys have played in the past. I
And neither is
understand and
Dallas.
agree that you guys are not the same team either. I get it. You guys are not the same team either. That's why you can't keep saying 7-3. Those 7-3 teams are not playing. Those teams that you keep bringing up are not playing. We have a totally different defense, a totally different offensive outlook. We have never had one great wide receiver, never mind two. We have a running back that is on his way to being the first 1,000-yard running back in the Eagles franchise since LaShawn McCoy. That was a while ago. This is a totally different team, and you can't have both. You can't say this is a totally different team. Yeah, we're both different, and then say, oh, but Dak Prescott put 40 on you last 2 times he played. That doesn't matter. He didn't put 40 on Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He didn't put 40 on James Bradbury. Like, he didn't do that. He didn't put 40 on Hassan Reddick. He didn't do that. So what I'm trying to say is that it's a totally different team. Like, we are totally different, way better. It's just, I don't get how that's taking anything away from the Cowboys, that the Eagles have totally reshifted their team. You even said it this offseason that we went crazy this offseason, added all these players.
I did.
So I just don't know how
But
it
I
changes.
haven't.
I don't get how it changes.
I'm not. But here's the thing: is I haven't taken anything away from your team, Joe. I said y'all were dogs. I said Philly is good. I said they are a top team in the NFC. I haven't taken anything away from that. But when you're sitting there saying that this is a whole different team as well, okay, we added players as well, Joe. Dak Prescott didn't play in that first matchup, Joe. So that's what I'm going to lean on. Can you understand where I'm coming from? If Dak Prescott played in that first matchup, hold up, can I finish? I stay quiet. I stay quiet and let you talk. And now I can't.
Go ahead.
Can I talk? Okay,
Go ahead.
So when you Dallas, you didn't have Dak the first time. So I'm leaning off of when you played Dak Prescott because Cooper Rush was never Asian. Okay, so all I asked was, and you're saying that passed. I get it, but that's the only thing we can lean on, right? We can only lean on the past appearances. And when we look at Jalen Hurts, and he's a mush. And hold on, I'm trying to give your team some flowers. And
I didn't start yelling. I just said how.
Because you're getting emotional.
I'm not.
Okay,
I'm letting you talk. Go ahead and talk. Go ahead and talk.
You, Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback from last year. He is. He's a better player. But if we're going by the past, I can only sit there and say the last meetings with Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts is 0-2. Okay. So to me, Jalen Hurts going into Dallas, I feel like he does have something to prove because he's never beat Dallas. So you can't sit there and tell me as an athlete player, if you have never beat a team and you're in the MVP conversation and you're to a big time matchup against the Dallas Cowboys with Dak Prescott in full health, and the Cowboys at full strength, that you don't think I gotta beat this team so everybody can shut up and so I can get past that. You're gonna sit there and tell me that players don't think about that, Joe? That you're gonna tell me?
First of all, we're going all the way back full circle to the first question you've asked. So yes, if that game matters, it's going to matter. Yes. But like I said, I would not be surprised. This is literally exactly what I said. I would not be surprised if we already have the number 1 seed clinched that we don't play a full game, because it doesn't make sense to get people hurt. Will Jalen Hurts care about that game? He cares about every game. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, but what my point that I'm trying to prove, since we've gotten on here, we have went from Jalen Hurts care about the Cowboys game. We went, and then I gave you my spiel on that whatever. Then we went to James Bradbury and how he had no effect. I proved to you that he had an effect. Then you switched it to we didn't add anybody other than Jordan Davis and James Bradbury, and that's supposed to be our thing. And then I proved to you that wasn't true, and now we're switching again back to the 7-3 and all. Like I just don't get why we keep bouncing back and
right
forth
now, bro. First
I'm
of
not,
all,
though,
Joe,
but that's what
not
we're
what I
doing. We're
said.
going back and forth.
You're talking about. You said this was no. We're not going back and forth. You're making up shit.
How?
Because you just said, let me finish. Because you said from last year, you said we're a totally different team from last year. So don't talk about last year. Don't talk shit because we're a totally different team.
See, I'm not doing that stuff with you. So you see who's emotional. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like that's childish behavior. I'm trying to
you
realistically figure it out.
I'm
trying to figure it out. And you getting upset. I get that you upset, bro, but I'm trying to be real with you. You went to 10 different topics trying to prove a point. You my dog too, and I love you, bro. But I'm trying to tell you what I'm trying. I've let you. You
didn't let
a million times. And you said the same thing though. You keep switching to different topics though. Like I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out.
Cut me off.
Go ahead.
I just tried to finish my statement.
Because you start doing the thing. If you're gonna prove the point of why you keep on jumping around,
I'll be normal. Okay, I'll be normal and prove the point. Prove the point.
Go ahead.
The point is this: we played last year. You said that we didn't have those same players. You added Bradbury. You drafted Davis. You might have linebacker, no Kobe Dean. You got different players. What I'm saying is this: you had those players, right? You had Jordan Davis in that game. You had Bradbury in that game when you played Dallas. You beat us 26-17. You dropped 20 points in that first half. Dallas had 3 turnovers. You scored 6 points in the second half. So all I'm saying is this: I would like to play you when Dak is strength in our team. We didn't have Tyron Smith. We didn't have Dak Prescott. We didn't have a Michael Gallup. We missed a lot of players in that game. So I want to see us play you at a full strength with y'all at full strength, because when we both had y'all in that aspect, we have beaten y'all, and Dak is 2-0. Now, I do understand Jalen Hurts was coming in as a young player. He's more experienced now. He's got the keys to the offense. He's playing like an MVP caliber type player. So it's going to be big to me, in my opinion, him to come into Dallas, because he hasn't won in Dallas. So he's coming into Dallas, and especially I don't think we're going to lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think we're going to lose to the Houston Texans. I don't think you're going to lose your next 2 games either. So I think that's going to be a big-time matchup, a big paramount matchup, and I think more of the pressure is going to be, to me, in my opinion, on Jalen Hurts, because he had beat Dallas Cowboys as far as with Dak Prescott. So I think he's going to want to show everybody that, look, Dak is playing. I want to beat guys, so I want to shut up all the naysayers and the critics. So that's the only way I was coming at it and saying it in that aspect.
No, I feel you. And like I said, if it matters, I'm sure Jalen Hurts is going to go all out. We're going to disagree as far as whether or not players should be. I guess that's a question. Let's calm it down for a second on both sides. And let me ask question, because I guess that's I know we both are, but let me ask a question that's kind of non-Philly or Dallas, just an NFL question. Do you think that it slows down a good team to rest their players early? Like, if they have it in the bag a game or 2 early, do you think it realistically like slows momentum enough that you're going to maybe go in there and play bad in the play. Because I don't personally believe that. I think that if you have a good enough coach team, if you have a good enough team that you guys can utilize that time to keep your bodies healthy and go into the playoffs 110%. You know what I'm saying? But what is your thoughts on that? Because I think that's kind of where we disconnected initially, right? And then it, you add Eagles and Cowboys to it, it gets to where it gets. But I think that's where like the initial disconnect was. So what are your thoughts on resting your players a game or two early?
I mean, I'm gonna just, in my opinion, I disagree on that aspect because I think momentum is everything. I mean, I'm sorry, I've coached teams. I coach my own teams. Usually, I've seen it firsthand. When you sit your players out, I think there's a mental lax because players are feeling like they're okay. It's a mental thing, Joe. I just see it. Like players feel like they're okay. It's a mental thing. It's mental. So they feel like they're okay, and so they bring it as hard. I feel it. I rested. I can go back to my own self when I coached football. We were heading into I rest my guys thinking we were all good. We to the playoffs and we got smacked. And I feel like my guys just weren't ready because I felt like they were sitting around thinking that we got this. We're good. We don't have to worry about stuff. And I kept telling my team, don't be like that. But I felt like there was a natural lax. We're okay. We've been smacking these teams all year. It ain't going to happen in the playoffs. And it did. So I think when you rest your players, it's a natural instinct to get lax, and that's why I don't like it. I want my players to play all the way through. I want momentum all the way through. And that's important to me. And I think it's important when you head into this. I've been talking about these last 3 games, Joe, on the Cowboys. I did mention the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I'll bypass them. But I said Philly, Titans, Washington, all games are playoff games. If you play in those games, right, and you're not playing your best football and you head into the playoffs, that can really affect you. So I feel like we got to come in there going strong against the Eagles, the Titans, and the Washington Commanders, because if we come in there going flat, and I'll take the example from last year, Joe, we played the Cardinals here. It was the Cardinals, and it was the Commanders, and then it was you guys. Obviously, you had set your guys out, so that wasn't really an important game. But that Cardinals game was huge. A lot of the Cowboys fans were looking at that game as momentum game, and we lost that game. We beat the next team, but it was that game kind of carried over. And since you guys didn't play your guys, it wasn't a mean. So we really weren't going in hot in the playoffs. And I feel like that really affected us. I think that Cardinals game, in my opinion, really affected us because a lot of people were putting a lot of weight into that game. They're seeing if we were really contenders, right? And we lost that game. And I think it mentally did some boys. In my opinion, just me. And I felt like it was a thing that going in. And when you play a San Francisco team who's already excited, they were playing hardcore, they were playing rough, and I feel like it snowballed. So I do think momentum does have an importance heading into the playoffs. I do think that's important.
That's interesting. I think I get what you're saying. I 110% get what you're saying. I think it's coming from an Eagles fan. We've dealt with so many injuries, especially late. You go back to even the 2017 season, right? And when you lose Carson Wentz, it's like then you go to the 2018 season and you lose Carson Wentz. So it's like we've dealt with so much injury. It's like maybe I'm a little bit overly cautious, but I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. So I get what you're saying, but shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 150 people.
We
chat,
booming up
sure
in there. Metro
like,
booming on them.
Yeah, Metro booming. They like when we argue.
Metro
this
booming.
is nothing. This is nothing. This is nothing. Tomorrow might get ugly. Shout out to Cowboys.
It's gonna be crazy.
Shout out to my guy Rome. I saw his comment that was like, stop being soft and ducking my question. I didn't see your comments. I'm not gonna be a lot. Me and James don't go at that. Like, we don't do that on camera. Usually we argue behind the scenes and talk.
we be cool. So for real, y'all gotta know it's real. When me and Joe is going at it we've been going at it the last 3 weeks. So it's got to be real. It's got to be real because me and Joe been cordial as hell for the 7 weeks. We've been cordial, nice to each other. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry, James. I didn't mean to step on your toes, Joe. I didn't mean to step on your tank. But now I don't give a F. F you, Joe.
Yeah,
F you,
facts.
James.
This
And
is
that's where
big.
we at. But that's the dog. And you feel
Oh
me?
yeah, of
But
course.
F you, Joe.
Of
And I
course.
know he like F you, James. And I'm cool with that. I love it. That's okay. Guess what? We're going to
That
beat
was
the brakes
fun
off
though.
of
We
y'all
needed that.
Christmas Eve.
We
Yeah.
needed that. Tomorrow's gonna be interesting. So I mean, we have about 10 minutes left, and I do want to ask you one more question, kind of throw one more topic out there before we get out of there. But before we get out of here, I should say. But while we got everybody in here, we might as well say tomorrow. I gotta confirm with LB, but he said tomorrow, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 7:30. But we'll have Lord Brunson and we'll have my guy Cowboys fan talk, Mr. Rome, in the building. We did part one. Part one it was fun. I think that we got a lot out of it. Like it wasn't too crazy, but
We
it
were
was
good
crazy.
that. We were good that
We
first one.
we were really
I
good.
thought
But
we were,
this
I
one's
think we're
gonna
gonna
be
I think this one's gonna be off the hook. This one's gonna be
yeah.
bad.
This
We're
one's
go
gonna get crazy. This one's gonna get
This
crazy.
one's gonna
But it's
get
gonna be
crazy,
fun.
Joe. You know it.
Yeah, we've
Because
been
me
talking
and
a
Joe
lot.
right now, right now, see, Joe told me to bring it. Okay, I'll bring it down. Joe's like, see, you ever thought? See, you can already tell us. See, me and Joe getting at it. So if you know Lord Brunson, he don't play,
It's
and
gonna
you
be
know
fun.
Rome don't play. So it's gonna be fire.
A movie.
I like
It's
it.
gonna be a
I love
movie.
it.
It's gonna be a movie. But last question last topic I want to talk about is
Okay.
really the rest of the NFC East, bro. Like, look, I said this before, and last thing I'll say about the Cowboys and the Eagles, there's a very good chance. I know I said all that what ifs in the beginning. There's a very good chance that Eagles Cowboy game is not just for the division. There's a very good chance that might be for the number 1 seed. Like we are heading on that type of path. The Vikings have a very easy schedule ahead of them, but you never know what happens. If they lose one, then we're talking because we both have the tiebreaker on them. But I want to talk about the Giants and Washington, and specifically that tie. And from your point of view, because I know from my point of view, it felt like the Giants are trying to just suck now. They're not going to, they're finally kind of showing who they are. But do you see in any way that this may be Washington kind of putting up a fight? Do you see that there's still a possibility of 3 or maybe 4 NFC East teams making the playoffs? Do you think that that's realistic still?
You meant now, Joe. You remember I told you them Giants is frauds, right? And they're starting to come back down to earth, right? I've been saying
You called that
all year Giants is fraud. I'm not believing them, and they're starting to come back down to earth. I don't think the Giants make the playoffs, in my opinion. I just don't think they do. I feel like they've been frauds all year, and I'm gonna just stand with it. I'm not disrespecting what they did this year because nobody thought, in my opinion, Joe, nobody thought they was be winning this many games. You get what I'm saying? So I thought to be only a 5-win team. So what they've done is kudos to the Giants, big time kudos. But frauds to me, in my opinion. I think the best chances with the Washington Commanders. Because they got a pretty good defense, a pretty good offense. It's really Heineke how he's going to do it. So I think 3 teams can come out. Obviously, us and you guys, and then I think Washington, but I don't think the Giants. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Washington Commanders end the season at the end of the year because we see it's creeping up. We got some others that are kind of creeping up and staying around there. And me personally, I want Tampa to make the playoffs, Joe, because I want them in the first round. I'm Tom Brady. Dallas has been getting their ass kicked by Tom Brady for so damn long. Him and Aaron Rodgers. You lost the first game of the year. I want him so bad. I want the Buccaneers bad. I want him specifically so bad because I want to play him in the playoffs, get 10 sacks, beat him up, make him feel bad that he left Giselle, and make him think about why he should have retired and say with his woman. That's what I want the Cowboys to do to Tom Brady and say, oh, damn, now I'm retiring and now my girl gone. That's what I want Dallas to do to you, Tom Brady. That's what I feel about you, dog. So, yeah, it's
like
big time. So,
since his divorce.
Yeah, I mean, but you get what I'm saying? We ain't beat Tom Brady. He has owned Dallas. He has absolutely owned us, just like Aaron Rodgers absolutely owned us. So when people were talking about, I don't want it a few weeks ago, I don't want to play. Check this out, Joe. A few weeks ago, they was like, I don't want to see no Tampa Bay in the playoffs. I don't want to see no Tampa Bay. Then they been struggling. Now everybody like, I want to play Tampa. I want to play Tampa. No, I've been steadfast from week 1, from last year too, Joe. I want Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, get your record together in Green Bay. I want to play you again because I want to sleep Dragons because these guys. I mean, you get what I'm saying, Joe? Like
Nah,
when you have a
definitely,
team that's
definitely.
kind of a player has been beeping owning you, you want to see them and get them when it matters the most. So I want the Tom Brady in the playoffs. I want an Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. And quite as kept, I want the Phillies and Jalen Hurts because you
I know
guys
you
are
do.
right now.
I know
You
you
guys
do.
are the top. You guys are the top dogs. So we want to bring you guys down. And like I said, I think we're going to play each other 3 times this year, and it's going to be very interesting. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't want y'all losing no games till you play us. I don't want us losing no games because I think that
Yeah, I
would
like
be
how you saved that.
a great matchup. I think that would be a hellified game. I think that would be one of the most watched games in history of NFL. Let's
Definitely.
keep it real. It really will be. We're going to do our live broadcast. I think that's just going to be great. So I think it's great for the NFL. Number one, it's great for the NFC East because people were dogging our division for so long, saying we were trash. So it's good that we bounce back. And I'm ready. Like I said, I got nothing but respect for the Eagles, bro. Y'all 11-1. Y'all a damn good team. Y'all got a damn good offense. I'm gonna give Jalen Hurts his props because I told you at the beginning of the season, what was the difference between Dallas winning the division and the Eagles winning the division? What did I tell you? Quarterback play.
Quarterback
I
play,
said that was the
definitely.
only difference, right? I didn't say nothing else. I said the quarterback play was the only difference because I felt like y'all were right there with it. I didn't lie. I said that was the beginning. And Jalen Hurts has stepped. He has shown me he's a dog. Like I watched him all year. He's been calm in the pocket. He's a pass threat, and he's a guy that the Cowboys really have to game plan for. Like Dan Quinn really has to be in his bag in a couple weeks when he's dealing with Jalen Hurts. Because here's the thing: the other quarterbacks we have played, they don't have that dimension that Jalen Hurts has. Jalen Hurts has that running dimension, and he can throw that ball. Like he can really throw. So this is a player that you have to really scheme for, and that's going to be huge. And really, that's going to be the difference. Can we stop Jalen Hurts? I'm not going to sit there and say that I'm scared of any of your players on offense because I'm not. But I am worried about a Jalen Hurts because he can be the difference in the game. If he gets hot in that game and he starts cooking, it can turn the whole game around. So Dallas really has to shut Jalen Hurts down. And I have no problem giving Jalen Hurts his props. I'll never hate on the player doing this thing. And Jalen Hurts has a awesome year. That is a fact. And Dallas really has their A game as far as scheme wise to really stop him, or it could be bad. So I don't have I have nothing but respect for the team and the player. But you expect these Cowboys too.
Definitely, definitely not. Yeah, I even said it. I even said it to Rome in the comments. I was like, you guys are a very good team. I don't think you guys are
I
overrated
know
at
it
all.
hates you.
We'll
I
we'll
know
see
it
what
hurts you to
happens.
say that, but it's okay.
It does. It kills me to say. It kills me to say.
Why? It doesn't kill me to say you guys are okay. It doesn't kill me to say
I'm a
why. Why
hater,
you
man. I'm
hating
a
so
hater by
bad? Why
nature.
so serious?
I'm a
Yeah,
hater
you
by
a
nature.
hater. Why so
Because
serious?
no, you know what it realistically is because, and you know this. Me and you met a couple years ago now, which is kind of crazy. But
Right.
when I came into YouTube, it was a lot of, well, we'll see what happens, right? We'll hopefully
Right.
everything works out. We'll see how it works out.
Right.
Now this is my
Right.
first year as a podcaster, being able to really talk that
Right.
talk. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it while I can and see what happens. I will say the Eagles probably want Tampa Bay as well. I know Jalen Hurts probably wants that defensive coordinator just because of all the sound clips that came out of that playoff
Right.
game. Obviously, he got shellacked. But the defensive coordinator saying that kid can't read, defenses. I'm sure he would love to shut that guy up right now. So, I mean, we're probably in the same boat. But it's going to be beautiful. I think we're very lucky, to be honest with you. I think that as Eagles and Dallas fans, we're very lucky to be in this situation that our teams are so good because you don't always get this. I mean, I'm sure you have seen your share of bad teams. I have seen my share of bad teams. So
Right.
to see us both
This
actually
is a
fighting
good
to
thing.
really,
This
yeah,
is
to ignite
good.
this,
I like
this is
that.
what we needed, man. The NFC, the
I
NFL is
like this.
always
This is
better when the
exciting.
NFC is good.
Yeah, like, hey, somebody said, "Hey, James Hurts is QB #1." Yeah, like this is when you're saying, "I'm not a hater, bro." Like, there's a lot of people in the comments saying this and that. I'm not a hater, bro. I recognize talent, and we was going back and forth, but I'm not a hater. Y'all got a good squad. Y'all got a good. Y'all got a good defense. Y'all got a good secondary. Y'all got all the tools to take it to the Super Bowl. But guess what, Joe? So do we. So that's what it come down to.
We gonna see.
We have all the
I can't
players and the
wait.
tools to make the chip too. me? So, but
can't wait.
I'm gonna keep it real, Joe. We have stopped ourselves. That's what I'm gonna say, in my opinion. Before we get off here, we have stopped ourselves. We have had the talent since 2016. We have had the talent to go to the chip. 2016, here, Rodgers, that was our fault. 2017 fell off. Ezekiel Elliott, you saw what happened with the Ezekiel Elliott issue, fell off. 2018, we went to the playoffs. We had a squad. Rams ran all over us. 2019, Jason Garrett, gone. You get a new coach. 2020, I didn't count that year. 2021, had that year. You got your ass. Now you got another year where you can do it again. So it's not like Dallas hasn't had the teams, but we ourselves have not stepped up to the plate. So it's up to us. So it's going to be exciting what's going to happen in these playoffs. And I ain't going to lie. I want to play these Eagles, and I wouldn't mind playing playoffs because that's going to bring, number one, fans across the board, right? It's going to bring money to the NFL, and it's going to bring excitement because I think everybody's going to be glued in to watch those Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys play. Straight up.
Yeah, and a nice little NFC championship game, Cowboys versus
Feel me?
Eagles.
You can't tell me
That would
NFC
be
championship
crazy.
Cowboys Eagles wouldn't be dope, bro.
That would be crazy. That would be a lot of
That'd
fun
be crazy.
to watch. I mean,
That
it would be a lot of fun to beat
Make
y'all.
sure we go live on
that
that, Joe.
stage. Definitely
sure-
on that stage. You know,
Yeah,
you already
true.
know.
Definitely
You
when
already
we
know.
beat
You
y'all
they
and get
think
to
it's
that
crazy
sixth
now.
championship.
Woo!
Woo! Oh, I'm
Yeah, I'm
and,
getting the
and
sixth
when we beat y'all,
championship,
Joe,
man.
you're gonna have to turn your channel off, bro, because I'm gonna be all up. Bro, you're gonna turn your channel off
I'm gonna
because
love
we
it.
beat y'all in
I'm
the
gonna love it.
championship
I'm gonna love
game. You're gonna have to turn your channel off for about 2 months because I'm gonna be all in your inbox. You be like, leave me alone, James. I get it. Stop talking to me.
As long as we get that number one seed, I don't see many teams beating us.
You can have the number
NFC.
one seed, big dog. We
That-
come in.
yeah,
We're
I
gonna
don't
come
see
to
anybody-
get
I
that
don't
number
see
one seed. We're
anybody
gonna come
coming to
into
Philly.
Philly. Yeah, we're
I don't
definitely
see
coming
it.
to Philly.
I just don't see anybody
We
coming
cool.
to Philly. Not even just y'all. I don't
Yeah,
see anybody in the NFC.
We coming to Philly.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Coming
We'll save
to
this
Philly.
smoke.
Whoop y'all.
We'll save the smoke for tomorrow. We still got 160 people in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Be sure
Bang,
to hit
best
that
of
like on
enemies.
both sides. Hit
Best
that
of
subscribe
enemies,
comment.
baby.
Yeah, it's mad
Right.
fun, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, tomorrow, bro.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll get this. Get some throat lozenges, some cough drops, some tea, whatever you need to get, because it's gonna get loud. It's gonna get crazy, but I'm excited for it. But are you at anything you want to say?
Yes,
to the
and
beautiful
tell
people
them,
before we
make
get
sure-
out of here?
Oh, all I gotta say is make sure y'all in there tomorrow. Hey, number one, we
Yes, sir.
appreciate you. We was banging tonight. Big Best of Enemies podcast. Y'all know what it is. We had some fun today. Me and Joe was. I love Joe. I love what Joe was like. Emotions. You gonna let me talk? I like this dude, man. He made me calm down and talk normal. He made me. That's why I like Joe.
And vice versa.
Joe will
That's
talk
what
to
we
you
gotta do.
intelligently. Joe will talk to you intelligently. Can you let me talk? You're yelling, you're screaming. I can talk. I like, okay. I like Joe. So hey, but make sure you keep on supporting this great run. Best of Enemies podcast. Been fire. Make sure, especially y'all, make sure y'all deep right now. Y'all got to be deep in the building in 2 weeks. We did our game last time, Joe. We did our live podcast. Both of us. It was a hit. A lot of people loved it. So make sure all y'all Cowboys, Eagles fans are in here 2 weeks later when me and Joe go live, do our Best of Enemies podcast live on our, because that game is gonna be lit. We appreciate all of y'all showed us. We appreciate all the support. Great on both sides. Basically, that's it, man. I just been having a great time with this, and I really appreciate all the fans, all the people that have supported us, and just really y'all. And let's get it.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all, man. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and go have a drink now. We all friends at the end of the day, and until 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, we can start yelling a little bit louder. But tomorrow,
I'm gonna start yelling at you.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. But we're gonna have some fun that week. That's gonna be a lot of fun. But anyways, before we go on for a whole another hour, y'all know what it is, man. That has been James. I am Joe, and we are the best of enemies. Peace.
We're brothers.